Hey there, welcome back. So let's continue our play here. So it can get cumbersome, especially when you don't know what you're doing or where you're going, and there could be secrets in every nook and cranny. Um, you can get a little crazy actually with how much you're looking for things. So I'm trying to remember. I think this is the door that takes us deeper into the dungeon. Yeah, this one I think opens now. Alright, I think this is actually, well, I can't remember which room it is. When we drop the thing that opens the hole, it's one of these rooms. Alright, so this is all junk, but it does sell for something, so I'll take it. Have a bowl. Pile of books. Almost everything you find is more or less junk, but it does sell for a price, and you sort of have to work towards getting some money, and maybe at some point you'll be able to ignore some of this junk. Now here's what's funny. So here's a mirror, right?
Let's have a look at myself.
So I'm looking at myself, right? Now I'm gonna switch
Careful,
to the vampire.
I might. Looking perfect as always, I assume.
It cracks me up. So at this point in the game, you don't technically know that he's a vampire yet. I mean, you do see his fangs on his picture, like when you're talking to him. I mean, this picture here doesn't show fangs, and I think if I zoom in, you know, his mouth is closed. Yeah, so you're not seeing fangs per se, but that mirror comment is just perfect. It's so subtle, but perfect. And then here we're just gonna pick up some more stuff. And like I said, my character can't carry that much. The paladin could. And so it is a little annoying to have to constantly switch to. So what's annoying about this is that, so let's say that there was somebody here I needed to talk to. I want my character with the charisma to do the talking, but since I have this character who has the ability to carry items walking in the lead, I'll end up talking to that person and having to do my roll checks and all that stuff with the wrong character. So that's the problem with this situation, but it's okay. And again, there's so much lore, it's not even funny. And yeah, I gloss over, my eyes glaze. Well, this is an interesting one. It's about vampires. It's funny that he's the one reading the book. There's another copy. Two more copies. Two more copies of that. Counts of the Ball Spawn. That's a nod to the original Baldur's Gate.
Have a lot
Your
on my
character
mind.
was
And,
a
well,
spawn
in
of
it.
Ball himself. This should give us something. Nope. And then these are gods. It's recording their deaths.
You do not recognize the language on the plaque.
What's that?
Alright, so we got a lever here. came from.
What's inside?
And there's a million more books here. You can see that book is worth 14 gold. So, you know, these aren't like $1. This isn't like the dollar store.
Very well.
So my older son, Josh, the one at West Point, I've been trying to get him to buy this so we can play it together when he has free time, which he doesn't have a lot of. But he does have free time on weekends and whatnot, because it's just a nice way for us to hang out and still play games together. He was watching me, because we were trying to convince him. He was watching me loot all these books like this, and he was like, "Dad, this looks so boring." And it sort of is, but I don't know, like, for me, it's, I need the gold. Because there are items that you can buy in this game that are very good. And they're drastically different. Some items you get, of course, through questing, and, you know, they're in a chest after you defeat a monster or whatever. But there are shops that just sell awesome items. And they're going to be specific to certain types of characters. So, for example, there is an item out there that doubles all poison damage. So if you have a character that's like centralized around poison damage, what a fantastic item for them to have. There's a ring that every time you heal somebody, you heal 2 yourself. So that's perfect for Shadowheart here. There was a helmet of smiting. So every time you smite somebody, which is what a paladin does, they heal themselves, which was fantastic. There was a device. I don't know if it was a ring or what it was, but when you cast magic missile, it shoots 1 extra missile, which is fantastic. You know, that just makes it even, for a guy like me who loves magic missile, it makes it even better. But anyways, so we got this door here, and I don't think it opens. No, maybe it does. What the heck? There's a door where you have to actually light both sides, and then it actually opens, but this is apparently not it. And, let's keep exploring.
This place wasn't built for the living.
Sorry, somebody just contacted me. Alright. Sorry for the distraction. Okay, so we're going further into the temple. This door, I think, is locked. Pretty sure it is.
Seems simple enough.
There is a key for it. I think we can pick the lock. It's one of the more difficult lock picks, I think. Another thing I want to do is I need to make sure every character has a torch.
I'm ready.
Later in
Whatever
the
it
game,
takes.
it's, you know, you find torches like there's no tomorrow. But see, I don't have a torch for 2 of my characters. So
Indolence breeds madness.
we gotta pick up that
Found
torch.
and taken.
Then make sure... Oh. So now that she has it in her inventory, it shows up here.
Don't touch me.
And see, he's got the torch there.
No time to
We
dally.
just need to give her one.
Still alive.
We need one more.
So that's progress.
And then here's his torch, so you see the little light symbol. So if there was more than one torch, I could move like one of the ones that don't have the light over, but we will find
blood?
out before we need...
No.
There's a certain
Never
spot in the
mind.
game
Let's have a
where
look.
you need torches or you die. because like the shadow like literally kills you, or the darkness literally kills you. There's multiple ways to go in this game, and I might go another direction where we ignore that area. It's not until Act 2,
Moving in.
We're talking many hours from now. But it is a thing, and you need torches. That is for sure. All right. Alright, so this is where I gotta be careful, and I'm going to go into group mode again, and we gotta use Astarion, and you can see like everybody was doing perception checks.
Oh, enough waiting.
And they all
I
failed.
crave blood.
See? Some of these checks they do on the fly.
I wonder what the next move is.
See if she can... So basically all 4 people in our party failed to detect there's a trap right here. I know that's where it is because I've definitely done this room a few times. I have them separated so only the guy I am clicking on moves. I don't want them following each other because then they would step on the trap. And we don't want that. So I want to be very careful and deliberate about where...
Traps. How
See,
considerate.
look. For some reason or other they were connected. So... my apologies. The person started following me exactly like I said I didn't want. Alright. I need to pause 1 second. Okay, my apologies there. Alright. I ultimately want what's in here.
Let's get going.
So I'm gonna switch
Swift
to each
as my
person.
feet can carry me.
See, perception successful, perception. There's traps everywhere. See, there's a button here. Lots of stuff going on.
Blacketh's will be done.
Then what I want to
Quickly
do is
then.
just move them up. You can see
I
that
spotted a trap.
they're detecting
Move with
some things and
purpose.
failing, but each one gets an opportunity to detect a trap.
This way.
So,
Best avoid that trap.
like she was able to see what she failed to see. And
Looks like a trap there.
so she's actually doing a real good job with perception. I think it's because she has high wisdom. So she is actually, wisdom is one of the prerequisites for detecting traps.
Looks like a trap there.
So she failed and then succeeded. So anyways, so what's the point of all this? Well, this is the main trap I want to disarm. So let's get this going. And here you can see Astarion has a 3 dexterity, 2 because he's sleight of hand, and he's an expert at sleight of hand. So he's getting 7. So one annoying thing you'll realize is that we have to do this animation to feed this even after my roll was already successful. So that's a little annoying. Alright, so he's going to come up and disarm whatever he can.
Be careful. There are traps about.
So these little goblin-looking heads, gargoyles, whatever you want to call them, they shoot fireballs across the hall. These plates make the fireballs shoot. So if you disable the goblin head, the gargoyle heads, but still step on the plates, nothing happens. Right? The mechanism that shoots the trap won't happen. If you disable the plates, then the gargoyle heads, even if they're not disarmed, like I disabled this plate, see, like nothing's going to happen, even though the gargoyles are still armed. So you actually have more than one way to disarm things. You don't have to do everything.
Oh dear. Someone's left a trap out.
Okay, so he's doing a great job. We disabled everything on this side. So now, you know, we
Don't
can
mind
go
if I
around
do.
and loot. This is... Now, this soul coin is pretty interesting. They power infernal engines. I have not figured out where those are used yet. I'm sure I could do a quick Google to learn.
An iron coin. I prefer gold, but I'll take it.
Alright, these bones are only worth 1 gold each, and as much as I said every gold counts, it's junk. But I'll take it for now, but later on I stopped taking stuff like that. And then, like I said, I disabled the trap on this thing. This is the big one. So the engraved key is big, and so is the dagger. So we got our first magical weapon. So this is a spear. When the spear misses its target, the wielder's next attack roll against the target gains true strike. It's not that exciting. It is also a 1d8 or 1d6 minus 1 piercing. It's a thrown weapon. So, this is like one of those items that I would give to Gale, because he has to consume magical items. And we come up here.
Traps. How
Traps.
considerate.
Just even this can cover some stuff like that. Now here's the part that's scary. I only have 1 trap disarm kit, and so that's why I made sure I disarmed the trap in the middle first, because that's the one I really needed, that had the key and all the other good stuff. Because these other ones I can get by without disarming them. Like, for example, I failed my perception checks, and so these 2 gargoyles never got disarmed. I don't have to disarm them. So we got one here that did something. And then we also have a key, and I'm pretty darn sure that that key opens this door. It's not. Wow. Oh, the key I just got opens the other door I was telling you about.
What have we here?
I don't know what that button does, actually, now that I think about it.
Simple.
This goes outside. And it's a 15. Even from the outside, it's a 15, so that's a more difficult one. Normally they're 10. But Astarion, like I said, he has so many awesome bonuses. And when it says use thieves' tools, it didn't actually go away. It's misleading. It goes away if I failed the check. Alright, I'm going to toggle group mode again. This is a trap right here.
Spotted a trap.
See, when you
Move
bring
with
people
purpose.
closer,
Don't touch me.
he catches it. And you saw the one character step forward, and you're like, oh my gosh. Disarm this one, and so this would get rid of all the traps effectively, even though those gargoyles are still armed. So I should be able to safely step anywhere now that I've done everything. And then if I bring my characters back here, one of them will eventually see. One of them passes their perception check, and eventually they happen. So, I only have 1 disarm kit. I'm not going to disarm these. It's not like I'm getting experience points for disarming everything. So we're just going to let it go.
Trap.
And you can see we just detected another one. We got what we needed from this room. So let's move on. And again, without that key, we could have just disarmed this door. But now that we have the key, the door is better. The spear is just a junk magical item. I think you get that every time. I don't think it's random or anything. And like I said, it's a perfect item to give to Gale.
Scribes with swords.
Alright, so now we come
So
in here.
much for the quill being mighty.
23 gold, of course, at our current state is good.
I wonder what was so subversive about their words that they commanded protection.
So we got these scribes here that are dead and laying on the ground. And they all are pretty much lootable. There's a door here. Let's not forget to go through that.
I'll just help
We're
myself.
gonna go around and, yeah, like he said, he's just gonna help himself. These rings don't do anything. There's nothing magical about them, but they're just good value for resale purposes. Now, this is a way out, and we'll actually take this path. So yeah, the temple's got massive holes, and that goes nowhere, but it's still, I think it's pretty. I like the design of this temple. It's a good, fun first temple to go through. That's my take on it. There's a little bit of puzzle, but it's not, you know, a lot. There's some spots later on where the puzzle gets a little crazy, and there have been a few times I've needed Google to help me, because I'm like, what am I supposed to do here? Particularly if you've played this game before and you're watching, there's this forge, an ancient forge, and my gosh, I needed so much help in that location.
Looks like someone wanted to bury their secrets.
Alright, so we got this book that highlighted, and this is a very important book. So we want Shadowheart to go read this
Onward.
book.
This book is far lighter than it should be with such a massive lock.
Okay, let's do Cleric Wisdom. Thankfully we pass. I never did this before.
As the lock opens, a loose page comes with it. Magic pulses from the parchment. What was once script is now an obliterated scrawl. You have a sense these are names, a list. But of what?
Alright, this is good. We're passing our test.
Gods. These are the names of gods, once lost but now restored after the Second Sundering. The last three names in this book sit close together, but are so devastated by the scrawl, entire pantheons have dwindled and been reborn.
Okay, so we just accomplished an acolyte goal, and this is based on your background. And we gained what's called inspiration, and then we got a ray of enfeeblement spell from the book. And then, I don't think there's anything else with the book, but we're gonna go ahead and pick it up and add it to wares. And, inspiration, so let's talk about that. So, we have our, oh yeah, that's not here, it would be K? Nope. This. So we have this view, which is the map, and then we have our quests, and over here is inspiration. So Shadowheart is an acolyte. And so by being an acolyte, we need to spend your life to a temple, serving the gods, and discovering their sacred works will inspire you. So we found the Book of Dead Gods, and so that inspired her, and so we got one inspiration point for that. A charlatan, bending the truth and turning allies against each other will get you inspiration with him. And then for Sage, learning about rare lore of the world had Gale been in the party, he would have gotten inspiration from this Book of the Dead. Then for me, let's see. It doesn't say a wicked moment, person, or thing. It's just saying that I'm haunted. So I don't know how I gain inspiration. I was a paladin last time, as I mentioned, and I think I was also an acolyte. So we actually got 2 inspiration because my picture was right next to her picture. And then for the soldier, smart tactics and bravery on the battlefield. Usually it's winning, important battles, stuff like that. So what does the inspiration do? Well, I do like this, by the way. This is your dialogue. You can click on anything and just see, did we succeed at the roll? And it's really cool. So inspiration, I don't know if there's a way to view it. Oh, right here it is. There's 1 point of inspiration. So here's what it's basically like a mulligan. So let's say like we needed to read the Book of the Gods, and I did that wisdom check. Let's say I rolled a 1, which is a critical failure. So I would have failed it. I'm like, dang it, I really want to know what this book means. So I can spend an inspiration to re-roll that die and change the outcome. It doesn't mean that I'm going to pass when I re-roll the die, but it's another chance to pass that test. So that's what inspiration is. I think there's a limit. You can only have so many points of inspiration before you need to use it or lose it. So like, I think once you get to 4 or 5, if you got like a 6th one or a 5th one, depending on what the limit is, it's just a waste. You don't actually accumulate anymore. But as you can see, you can spend to reroll an ability check, complete background goals to get more. It's a really cool concept because when you're relying on dice, the dice sometimes work against you, and sometimes you may have a plus 11 to a dice roll, and then you roll like a 1 or a 2 out of a d20, and you're like, come on. And it's so frustrating. Well, now you can spend an inspiration point. Obviously, you have to pick and choose when and where you spend them, but they're here, and they're available for you to get past that frustrating dice roll and roll again. Then, of course, this is the camp supplies. Remember I told you we spend 40 every time? So you can just do 32 divided by 4. I can camp 8 nights in a row with the current supplies I have. And that's how much gold I have. 14 whopping gold. Now, that is for the character. This is for the party. So for the party we have, and I just hit this button here. For the party we have 304 gold. So that's adding up every individual amount everybody has. So there you go. You can also look at the character sheet side by side, which I think is pretty cool. You can see the approval rating of everybody. Take a look at all their skills, like so. See where the proficiencies are, and you can even look at everybody's spell book side by side. So pretty cool. All right, let's go. Now we have a fighter who has lots of strength, so she can for sure carry around all this junk. And there's another soul point, which I think is important. I never Googled to figure out what those do, and I probably should. But we have 2 of them now. I think there's a 3rd one around here somewhere. Alright, so there's a key.
Consider me intrigued.
I don't know if I remember where that key is used for. Three copies of protection from good and evil.
A statue to juggle, if my lessons were true. The
And
final
we
scribe.
found a button. That was the perception check that we just passed.
That's curious.
Oh, now we found the button. I think the thing we did was we identified that this is a Jerkle, is the name of the god.
The inscription is in a language unknown to you.
Worth examining.
So we're going to do that. And
Let's
over
have a
here.
look.
Obviously I'm ignoring that button for now. It's more of a completionist thing in me. And then we're gonna stop real quick. Pause. Okay, I am back. So I think I was mentioning I was being a completionist, and I believe that my work is complete. So I can... Yeah.
My faith will guide
Probably
me.
need to... See, she doesn't have her spells. So we'd have to do a long rest to get those back. We do have one potion. So let's actually... I have 7 potions. 1, 1, and 1. I'm basically assessing, should I try to heal her up or not before this starts. She doesn't really have a lot of healing options. So I think the conclusion, the takeaway here is we're going to do a group. I'm going to take my character.
All's well that ends. Well, not as bad as it
Put
could
him
have.
here. And then
I'm
we'll
ready.
have her come here
Got
and
to
push
keep
the button.
moving.
Alright, so button's been pushed. Now all these dead things aren't very happy with you.
Hells. Something just woke up down here.
So we just got...
Let them come. The darkness can be to our advantage.
Alright, so we did a little bit of damage to him.
I wonder if this is worth the cost.
And for me, I will do... Let's do a Ray of Frost.
Death won't take me yet.
Got you! So it's impacted by the Ray of Frost, but I don't think it means it's wet. That's the thing. I'm trying to understand, like, my synergies here.
My faith will protect me.
I can't even cast the water spell.
Onward.
So let's do Secret Flame. See, look, they just save against it. I mean, it's worthless. They do that half the time.
Victory awaits.
And close enough to hit anybody.
My path be true.
We'll dash up. I could add another action. Yeah, let's do it. There we go. One's down. Okay, so the silence is the circle. If I can get outside the circle, I'm no longer silenced.
Can't even catch my breath.
So I just have to move a little bit. So then you can see the silence goes away. And I'm actually going to move as close as I can. Can't trip them.
Got to focus.
And then for her, I got to do something similar.
Moving.
I could try the Sacred Flame again, but he resisted it. Turn undead. There we go. This one turned, that one got saved.
I am fury. I am death. Let my name be known.
Okay, that was awesome. That was definitely very nice. 1 damage. This. And this one is running away. Down to 10 health.
Well, so much for peace. Have to keep going.
Alright, so he broke his...
I'm ready.
I will ascend. No time to waste.
Alright, so I can't hit him with my primary weapon. Or at least get him with my bow. Oh, I killed him. That's pretty nice. 6 more damage.
I won't give in. Wonder if the gods are watching me.
I gotta use my favorite spell. So we're gonna do 1. Oh, too far away. That would be a lot. There's only 4 health points there. So we'll do a 3. I don't think I hit him. I think I hit this.
Talk to me.
That was annoying.
Time to strike. You bow or you break.
Excellent. There we go.
Rising from the dead just to protect some dusty old balls.
Alright,
Time to press ahead.
we got him. Now let's go into this room.
A lot of effort to hide one sarcophagus.
Alright, what do we got? Hyena ear. Just to be... Now, this amulet is actually fairly handy. I guess I'll take it for now. I used to give it to Gale.
I'll give it a shot.
Here lies the guardian of tombs. Through knowledge comes atonement.
So he has spoken, and so thou standest before me. Right, as always. What a curious way to awaken. Now, I have a question for thee. What is the worth of a single mortal's life? Curiosity. Nothing more. Wilt thou answer my question?
So I'm always intrigued by this dialogue.
So, I ask again, what is the worth of a single mortal life?
Okay, so when you're playing a paladin, the worth is the the good deeds that you do and accumulate throughout your life. And I think the bard's response was very similar, like to the great story or tales that you create. Let's see. This is similar to the bard's or the paladin's answer. I don't like any of these answers. Actually, I do like that one. Alright, we'll do this one.
I am curious by what standards thou shalt judge. Very well. I am satisfied. We have met, and I know thy face. We will see each other again at the proper time and place. Farewell.
Oh, I got inspired by that. That's crazy. Okay, so the inspiration came to me. We're gonna go ahead and short rest.
Time to get going.
Get them healed a little bit better. That doesn't give us our spells back, but still. So you'll just see this guy roaming around the temple. I mean, you guys know me. I like to spoil things. I read in a forum, a BG3 forum, that he is literally this god that you see right here. So we just literally spoke to whoever this god is. His name is Withers, according to the game, but we are talking to a god in person, according to the forum. But I don't have any indication that that's the case here. In fact, he seems to be quite irritated that he has to support you. And he will eventually tell us, like, he must do this. And then, of course, you ask him, like, what do you mean by must? And he's like, there's things you just don't understand. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, so we lowered that ladder, which then unlocked this hatch. And you probably recognize this hatch. I had pointed it out earlier. And here we are. We are now officially at the temple again, outside. Okay, so there's a couple of things I want to do at this point. First one, we can, for example, teleport. This is like a good example. So I'm standing here, I don't feel like walking. Boom. Doesn't matter where you are, you just can immediately go to one of these locations. And I don't remember anything really being here of interest other than
Mind if I do?
some alchemy stuff. There might be one more place to dig. Oh, we got the different traps. So this is where we rescued our fighter, the Githyanki. So we're sort of like back to square one. We do have a big battle coming up again. And then this will open up the rest of the game. So right up here is a camp that those people were telling us about. And there's also the Zuru. And at the entrance of the camp is going to be a battle. I don't have a lot of gold, do I? I got 300. So what we could do is we could try to camp. That Withers guy is, by the way, how we respec our people. So I could respec her into a life cleric or something else. I don't know, maybe I can just distribute his points a little bit better. And then, even myself, I like the dragon look, but I really love the fact that the Yankee have that that ability to give themselves proficiency in like one particular area. Wow, that's so powerful. That's actually better than human, because I was bragging about how the human gives you 1 extra proficiency. I mean, with her, you can get a whole bunch.
Enough waiting. I crave blood.
And that's until long rest, but it's until then. So, like, for the entire time until you rest again. And this is not a like a spell slot. That's fantastic. I almost want to roll another character now. I do love the whole theme of this, being a dragon and all. But let's go ahead and continue. Alright, so one of the lessons I've learned is let's split. Well, before we split, everybody's going to hide. And then we're going to send
Ready for anything.
her
What's next, I wonder?
and her around.
Out of sight, out of
Him.
mind.
I'm just waiting.
And him this way.
Silent as the grave.
So being in the bushes here, you can see his half light.
What now?
That's full light. That's
Breathe
half.
deep and move.
The mission has to come first.
Her up a little bit closer.
Staying out of sight.
She's not.
Open the bloody
there we go.
gate! Nobody gets in! Zevlor's orders! That pack of goblins will be on us any second!
What's going on?
Goblins are on our tail! Open the gate, Zevlor, now! You let goblins here? Where is the druid? Please! There's no time!
By the 9 hells! Open the gates! Damnable roach! Provoke the blade! And suffer its sting.
Alright, so the beauty of being up here already.
They will now bid them.
I go into stealth and now I can critically strike him. And he's as good as done. Alright.
Let my name be known.
Of course you missed.
Breathe deep and move.
Alright, how do I want to play this? I have one more level 1 spell. crossbow for now. That one has a 70%. That's an 85%.
I'll bleed every last one of you!
On my way.
My sickle and sword, strike them down!
Ready or not?
Alright, so
No time to waste.
be able to hit one. Send her into the fray. Let's do 80%. 85%. See, and then I missed with it. Oh no, I hit. He's not an enemy. Oh, stupid. I sure hope I can screw up.
Focus, strike true.
Because last thing I want is that he attacks me now. Oh, how stupid of me.
Taste my fury.
Time to push my luck again.
Is there a way I can disable this?
Got to move.
The subtle approach.
Oh man.
That was the last of them! Inside! Open the gate!
Alright, so no one left behind. We just inspired Lazelle.
Pave my path with corpses. Build my castle with bones.
Indolence breeds madness. What lies within? My eyes grow heavy. Best to make camp.
Alright, so we're gonna get everything included here. Got some gloves of power on a melee hit. Improved sleight of hand by +1. So that's really good for a thief to have.
More goblins. Assume nothing. Next. Repositioning.
One crisis after another.
You led them to our door! And you was ready.
Okay. So one of the things I need to do is I need to save. It's been a
Cannon.
while. If I do something stupid here. So, Cannon is there.
Cannon!
See how it's showing a red chest? If I try to loot him, these people all get angry, and they sometimes will attack me. I don't remember what the situation is here.
Feel like we're
So
being
I'm going to
watched.
toggle group mode
How delicious.
and send Astarion back here, because they have a camp back here that they left. You can see this guy is sitting on a chair, and he's watching everything,
No! Get up, Cannon!
which I wasn't expecting. Nope, she's getting up and moving.
Neither seen nor heard.
So now, anytime I open something red, I'm stealing. Which I can do, as long as nobody sees me. And with me sneaking like I am, I'm not being seen. Now, when that chick turns around, I'm in trouble. So that's why I'm rushing through it as much as
It
I
is,
can.
as they say, empty.
One crisis after another.
Being arrested for theft. If you have a defense, make it now.
Yeah, this is reload time. All I did was take a shovel whenever she turned around, but that was enough. Now, there's a trick from Divinity Original Sin that we can try.
Cannon?
So I'm going to go ahead and toggle group mode again.
Get up, Cannon!
And then
Keep your distance, darling.
have him
Over there.
go there.
At least things have stayed
And
interesting.
have myself go
Can't
here.
slow
Feel like
down.
we're being watched.
Alright, so she's coming to overlook the whatever.
No more trouble. Yet.
Alright, so I'm gonna... Oh, dang it. There she is. She turned around. Went back.
No! Get up, Cannon!
Sometimes you can get a dialogue going, and she'll be facing whoever's talking to her, and so you're distracting her, and then you can switch characters and then do the stealing.
Well, hello.
The big thing I want is his belongings right here.
One crisis after another.
Like a wraith.
Not everyone subscribes to what is mine as yours, it seems.
Then this is why you gotta save. Because, now, you might be saying, well, why not play it out? Just do the role-playing. Well, okay, so for my previous party, I was a paladin, and sometimes you would lose your oath from doing this kind of shenanigans. Actually, you probably could just play it out. I just,
way.
I mean, I am not too thrilled about playing it out, but
Get up, Cannon!
Someone there?
Feel like we're being watched.
One step at a time. On tippy toes. Quietly.
come on. there. That was the big prize. Right, and then I'm gonna get out of stealth.
On my way.
So there's a thief. So she's looking for a thief.
Devil.
So we gotta run.
Before it's too late.
Oh, what?
Now, if she confronts Asterion, then we go to jail. If she confronts one of the other party
children
members,
here, you fool!
no big deal.
We was
because
running
they didn't actually
for
do
our
the stealing.
lives. You led them straight to us, and you let them take the druid too. Unbelievable!
All right.
And who the hell are you? Show some. Well, I didn't ask for any goddamn help. Please.
The human's eye twitches. He's about to blow.
See, and I'm talking with my rogue, who's not the best at persuading. Yeah. So I'm gonna fail. So what are they referring to? I could use inspiration here. I'm not going to.
With a thump, the armored man collapses, unconscious.
Enough. We need to pack up and leave.
For once.
No one stopped me yet.
Seems his skull
I
isn't
should
as
speak
thick
up.
as I thought.
Now that.
Thank you for your help out there. Well met. Whatever you... This attack will only strengthen their resolve. They've started a ritual to cut the grove off from the world outside.
going through
We
it,
can't stay,
forgetting that I'm recording.
but we'll be slaughtered if we leave. We're no fighters.
So basically, the rituals are doing the druids are doing a ritual that's going to seal up the cove and trap anybody that's inside. And basically, the druids are going to kick them out before this ritual completes. And the goblins are going to kill them before they can get to Baldur's Gate.
We're refugees from Elturel. We took shelter here after gnolls attacked us on the road. We were bound for Baldur's Gate, and it was too late to turn back. Elturel had no place for tieflings after the descent.
The Descent, an infernal conspiracy that had seen the entire city of Elturel briefly dragged to the hells.
So I hoped, but we've lost so many already. And more will die if we're forced out again. I've tried. Korga, their new first druid. You, though? I know it's not your business, but perhaps you could persuade her. For more time to prepare, if nothing else.
Really? We're messengers now.
We'd owe you a great debt. If we're forced to leave now, we won't make it. You'll find...
Yeah, so that's where Asterion gets annoying. And Gale would have approved.
First, I damn near die at the hands of Gob. I'm done with this hellhole.
So,
Those two must have history.
if
Never mind
I
their
would have successfully
history. Let's
caused
look
them
for
to
help.
not punch each other, he would have been here in this town. I did later learn through my playthrough with my son that this guy actually shows up elsewhere. So they do a really wonderful job of dealing
Need
with
to
the
find a way
scenarios.
forward.
It had to be maddening designing this game with the way they came up with all the different. Okay, if this happens, then they're going to be here. That is the part that, you know, I give them a lot of credit for. So I'm on my third video. I know that taking an hour to create the character is a bit much, but I'm already, what, 2.5 hours in of actual playtime. And I just came to Emerald Grove, and we haven't even scratched the surface of Act 1. There's 3 acts to this game. I don't know if they're all the same size, but it's an insanely large game. Now, what I typically like to do here is this guy, Aaron.
Refugees, adventurers. No one in years, and suddenly we're overwhelmed. Well met. And thank you for beating back those goblins. Is there anything you need? Act fast if you do. The ritual will be complete before too long. Just some bits and bobs I no longer need.
I basically come here to sell. Now, a really weird aspect of the game is I marked these items for wares, which means they're junk. And there's nothing that lets me move them to the barter screen. But if you look up here at the top, I can switch it to trade. So what trade is I'm basically just going to get pure gold. And then right here is the sell wares button. So boom, I just did that.
That doesn't matter.
Took a bunch of his gold. So it's a really weird mechanism.
That's not what I
But yeah,
said.
if I like sell this bow here for 8 gold, then it should take 8 away from him and he'll be at 476. So let's try it out. Yeah, boom. And then I moved up 8 gold. So that's how this trade mode works. Or you can go to barter, which is you're not necessarily trading for gold. So like for example, I may want those 5 disarm kits. If we go through, these gloves of missile snaring I thought were silly, but my son was using them and they actually work. So people shoot arrows and you literally catch them in the air while they're coming at you. Or you reduce their damage by 1d10 plus your dexterity,
I won't leave them behind.
which can also be really impressive. He was a barbarian character, and so his dexterity was quite high. It was interesting, and it's 320 gold. These are dies, which I think are just cosmetic. This is if you're doing a lot of throwing, it increases your throw damage. It would be a must-buy if you plan to do throw damage. Ringmail +1 is fantastic for your fighter. That's 15. If you're going to be proficient with heavy armor. Chain shirt is good for your cleric. These are also, this one gives you nature +1.
This is about your precious Baldur's
Maybe
Gate.
if you were a ranger or something, that would be a good one.
Our
This
future.
is just a
No,
medium
you
armor,
just care about your stupid apprenticeship.
light armor,
Take that back.
and of course, I just wear a robe. She's going to be heavy. These are going to both be medium, or actually, she can do heavy too, I think. The Spell Thief. Once per short rest, you regain a level 1 spell slot when you land a critical hit with the Spell Thief. So you shoot the bow, get a critical hit, and you're going to regain one of your level 1 spells. So it's great for a spellcaster. You run out of spells, you have no spells left to cast, so now you go and resort to your bow to do the rest of your damage for the rest of the... And I think it's actually a good ranger.
We don't even know these people.
That
type
doesn't
item.
matter.
Of course it does.
I
You would
always have
choose
cantrips,
strangers
so I can
over
cast
us.
spells forever.
That's not what I
The
said.
Rain Dancer is a quarterstaff
Stop shouting.
that has Create Water. Now, if there's anybody that needs to create water, guess who it is? This guy. So right there's a level 1 transmutation spell. I think that does mean it's going to use a level 1 spell slot if I cast it. And then of course it gives you a message here telling you that Gale can absorb. But right here, that's the thing I want. So that'll give me the Create Water spell. Yeah, it's going to use up one of my level 1 spots, but there you go. Now I can depend on myself to wreak havoc and lightning mayhem. I think that's perfect for what we're trying to do with this storm thing. And then the rest of these, like if you have Gale, you may want to buy some scrolls.
Calm down.
Because he can learn spells, right? You need to
I
have a
won't
scroll.
leave them behind.
He'll consume the
You're going
scroll
to get
and
us
learn the
killed.
spell, but then he forever has it in his spell book. We're not using a wizard. Instead, we have a sorcerer, so we have the advantage of we don't need to buy the scrolls. Then, of course, there's some camp supplies here. And he has 476 gold left as well. Out of all the things here, maybe the armors would be nice. The axe. It does extra damage to burning targets. Probably not super helpful. It's not the best weapon for a fighter. So let's just go after the disarm kits because we're low on those. And this Rain Dancer.
This is about your precious Baldur's Gate.
Quarterstaff.
I care about our lives.
So we'll
our
start with our
futures.
stuff here.
You just care about your
See, I'm already
stupid
up to
apprenticeship.
69. Potion of
Take
flying.
that back. Right now.
Get that. Potion of speed. We're up to 129. And I just drag and drop. I can't think of a quicker way to do this, unfortunately. So, it can get a little boring. And of course, getting rid of all this stuff is going to help me with my encumbrance challenge. And all this stuff is more or less junk.
We don't even know these people.
That doesn't matter.
I'll keep the letter for now.
Of course it does. You would choose strangers over us.
Not
what I said.
The musical instruments.
Can we stop shouting? No?
And move these over. More. See, I'm already up to 407, 415. I'm actually going to make it. Here we go. I'm actually at a surplus. Right, don't sell your torch. Don't sell the thieves' tools. Keep the scroll revivify. I could use these in a pinch, but they're worth 20 gold, so I'm going to sell them.
Calm down.
And always keep your shovel.
I won't leave them behind.
I recommend always keeping your healing potions. This is maybe handy, but I'm selling it. Animal speaking is important. I'm actually a little surprised. I thought one of us would have had that by now, but the paladin had it with the Oath of the Ancients. I had like 3 characters that could do it, but the paladin was the big one. So I'm actually missing that at the moment. So I'll keep the potion for now. So there we go. So we have a surplus, so we just hit this little button, and it balances it out. So he's going to give me 122 of his remaining gold, and 142 of his remaining gold.
This is about your precious Baldur's Gate.
147.
I care about our lives.
There we go.
Our futures.
And now we're going to go ahead and do the
About your
transfer.
stupid apprenticeship.
And I can
Take that back. Right now.
I can equip this, like so. Put that over there. And what was the other item I bought? Oh, these. I don't think they let me transfer between characters, so I'll just grab 5 more gold and then I'm done. So now I can go to the next character and it's rinse and repeat. Now mind you, there's only 324 gold left. So we're gonna have to be careful here.
We don't even know these people.
That doesn't matter.
Of course it does. You would choose strangers over us.
That's not what I said.
Can we stop shouting? No?
Now getting rid of all these scrolls is a little dangerous, because if you ever plan to use Gale, the wizard, you need these scrolls. And getting them for free like we did is huge, because he has to spend gold to memorize them in his spellbook. Having a wizard around is a little expensive, actually. So here we go, we got 278 more. And that's not counting all of his junk.
I won't leave them behind.
So we're gonna go back to trade mode, sell the wares. Yeah, he doesn't even have enough gold to pay for our wares. And she's got junk too. So we have more stuff to sell, but we basically cleaned them out. Now what we could do is, like I said, that ringmail armor is +1, but see, she has half plate, which is already the same armor class. So it's really not beneficial at all. And then for her, she doesn't have proficiency in heavy armor, and that would give her a +1.
This is about your precious Baldur's Gate.
It's not worth it.
I care about our lives, our futures.
So yeah, now you've been hearing these guys arguing
you just
with
care
each
about
other.
your stupid apprentice. Hells, we can't just.
I'll not gamble our lives, our futures, on people who are as good as dead. Can we all just take a moment, please?
What's the point in blades and spells if we don't bloody use them? These people aren't fighters. We can help.
Or yell louder. That's fine too.
I made no such oath, and I will not.
Just be responsible for yourself then.
Zerg! Fine. We'll stay. If we survive.
Thank you, Roland.
Alright, we'll at least get them to stop arguing.
Better not be cursed.
So there's a lot to do in this town.
This grove is kept by Sylvanus's faithful.
I could spend a whole hour just walking around this town and doing a lot of the things that it have to offer here. So for now, I am... Oh, we leveled up. He is the only one who hasn't. He's 14 experience points away. Come on.
Still breathing.
What can I
Despite
do to get
everything.
14 experience points?
Don't waste a step.
I know there's got to be something.
Oh, the waiting's getting to me. If we left, we could at least make a run for it.
You ain't gonna shoot me.
Put it down. She can't...
That's the point. Get out of the way!
She didn't kill your brother, Arca. You're better than this.
Your mind wanders. If the crossbow bolt shot through her mouth, would she taste the metal before she died?
Shoot before you lose your nerve, Tiefling. If you ever had it to begin with.
That was the Dark Urge speaking there. If the crossbow bolt crossed through her mouth, would she taste the metal? That is definitely not something that's normal. This is wrong, isn't it?
I didn't ask for you to say a damn thing! Keep out of it!
So, I could threaten her. I can step between the crossbow and the goblin. I did do this once, and then these two attacked me, which is the last thing I wanted, was for them to be upset with me. I guess
Doesn't even matter if you kill me. I'm chosen by the absolute I am. I'm blessed.
Here it comes, you little beast!
Alright, we didn't get experience for that. I was hoping we might.
Best keep your hands to yourself.
Oh, Jesus. So you killed them and then you're watching us, too.
Here goes nothing.
Shoes.
I shut the door on you. Doesn't even have any loot. Alright, I know there's a battle down here. There's a secret door here. It's a big battle though, and I should level up my other guys first. Just need to do one thing to get 14 experience points. Wow. What else can I do? Oh, I may be able to get quests by talking to Zoro up here. I have Zale with me.
Onward.
And there should be a Zoro around here.
Is that everything? I think that's everything.
Right here, Zoru.
Let us have words.
By Mordai's eyes, another one. My friend's blood not enough. Come to rip me open too.
In Kresh Kalir, a formal greeting begins with a bow.
Is this monster with you?
Lower.
You saw another Gith. Where?
On the road to Baldur's Gate, near the mountain pass. Saw us before we saw it. Jammed its blade through Yul's belly. Straight to the other side.
No twisting. Kin must have been in a hurry. The map. Show me. Up. You can keep your innards.
Oh, you're not going to eviscerate him? I was hoping for a show.
Cool your blood. I'll indulge you soon enough.
No experience points for that either.
Gods, deliver me.
No time to rest.
The locals prove compliant.
I warned you, didn't I? You ought to reconsider keeping her around before she causes real trouble.
Roth. Soon you will be vomiting blood and tearing apart your own.
When the tentacles sprout from your lips, will you still cry that I was rough? Then I needn't make it the T-sling was clear. If there are Githyanki west of here, that must be our objective. Purification cannot wait. I am unfamiliar with the... well, I shall not say culture. Custom, perhaps. You will educate me on matters of this... Fey run. The Kresh holds the Zaithisk. It will cleanse us. By covenant, I can say no more.
Done.
Okay. Didn't get experience points for that either.
If not over, then through.
Right.
Never get this.
Maybe we'll get experience points up here. Children! We're gonna get Will to join our
Look
party.
who's here.
Go on. Not bad.
I can't do it. I'm not like you.
Umi, I don't need you to be like me. You just have to buy enough time to run. Come on. I believe in you. You can do this.
Kind words in unkind times, my friend. Well met.
The man's smile bends downward. And his thoughts. You are the blade of frontiers racing through the wastes of Avernus. Just ahead, a diabolical figure, red skin, single curled horn, blazes with flame, bloodied great axe held.
Hell's great fires. You were on the ship.
Yes, we were.
Doomed to shed our skin and become a lithid, or so the stories go. But we haven't sprouted any tentacles. Not yet, anyway. Could just be good luck. I'm not so...
Your minds collide once more. Will chases the fiend ignited with rancor. She is an infernal war devil. A threat to the living. Evil incarnate.
Shit! You saw her. Advocatus Diaboli.
Advocatus Diaboli. A devil's advocate. A champion in the blood war between diabolical forces and demons.
All right.
Her name is Karlak, an archdevil soldier I swore on my good eye to kill. I tracked her through the hells to the Mind Flayer ship, but the damned Illithids infected me before I could end her. She's out there now, preying on the innocent. I don't kill her, she'll leave behind nothing but a trail of corpses. Just so you know, my first duty is Karlak, but I won't deny this
You'll need to make room if you want to partner. Still, when the time comes, call for the blade. I won't be long to answer. A splendid plan. We'll talk more there.
Never get the smell out of my clothes.
No experience for that either. I'm trying to think of all these reasons we're going to get experience points. I know of one. It's down here.
Show me again? Not now.
I'm skipping a bunch of stuff.
Remember?
But it's right here.
Please, let us through.
Let my daughter go right now!
She's a thief, hellspawn. And you will wait.
Oh, let me through, Mragrasham, or I'll rip your damn throat out!
Come, Magwin. Give him a chance. You, get back. No, and you'll find trouble all the same unless you get out of my sight.
A moment, Giona.
What? Oh, I understand. You. Apparently Korga wants to see you.
So, again, I'm skipping a bunch of stuff.
Cursed to put my hands on everything.
We're heading straight to Kaga here.
I'm sorry! Please! I'm sorry.
This is madness, Korga. She's just a...
A what, Wrath? A thief? A poison? A threat? I will imprison the devil. And I will cast out every stranger.
A death viper. You've milked their poison before. A single drop of it could kill that child in a heartbeat.
So as a paladin, you can offer to be the judge of this situation.
Girl? You mean parasite?
She eats our food, drinks our water, then steals our most holy idol in thanks.
Wrath, lock her up. She remains here until the rite is complete. And keep still, devil. Tila is restless.
Come, Korga. We took back the idol. Surely...
Do it.
The snake's hiss of approval reveals its intentions. Should the child struggle, it is poised to strike. The death of a child. A timeless tragedy that never grows old.
This little inner darkness thing is funny. That last line was also not part of this. Alright, so I can try to read Kaga's mind, which I don't know if that goes well. Your mind wants the snake to kill this child, but your heart doesn't snap out of it. Ooh. There's a lot of interesting options here. You can try to appeal to their nature. My nature gets +1. See, it actually tells you get a +1 here. My persuasion gets a +5. That's the better route. And even the detect thoughts is just a +1. And I can't imagine that reading her mind is going to be easy. But this part here interests me too. My mind wants the snake to kill the child, but my heart doesn't snap out of it. That's clearly because of my background. But I want these experience points. So let's get her released. Perfect.
Very well. She may go. Break your word, and my serpent shall feed. Sif, Tila to me! Out, thief. My grace has its limits.
It hurts.
Thank you, Korga. Master Halsin...
Halsin isn't here. Keep his name off your tongue, lest Tila pierce it.
Okay. So we got her to let go of the girl. So we saved Arabella. It is interesting how I have this darkness urge. I am enjoying that. And that was enough. I already leveled up. So we got some experience points for that. I don't remember seeing that.
Keep a blade close.
But, yeah, how much it doesn't say. So we're gonna go ahead and level them up and we'll know. Yes, I could have leveled up my other characters. I just want to level them all up at the same time. Alright, so he gets Mage Hand. So, I got all these people with Mage Hand now. I should have remembered. Oh, that's right, because, well, he's getting Mage Hand, and then he's getting all these mage spells because he's Arcane Trickster, but we could change him. I'm not a big fan of Arcane Trickster because these spells usually require intelligence. And his intelligence is 13, so he doesn't get a huge bonus to intelligence. I mean, you could, like, for example, get the invisibility spell, but I don't think level 1 spells have invisibility. Oh, excuse me. All of a sudden yawning. I just feel like these other two kits are better. Now, this is one that's really popular. So the first one is you have advantage on attack rolls against creatures that haven't taken a turn yet. Now, because he has high dexterity, he does tend to go very early in battles. But it doesn't mean he can actually hit somebody the first turn. I mean, I guess if I use his bow, I mean, he can definitely... And then having an advantage means... having advantage means he gets to critically attack them, like a sneak attack. Because one of the ways you get advantage is you're in stealth. The other one is just simply have advantage like this. So as long as they haven't gone yet this round, he actually automatically gets a sneak attack against anybody he attacks. That's pretty powerful. Now, he also gets, if you surprise a creature, you get a critical hit. Now this is harder, because basically it means you have to, you basically have to attack before you have dialogue with people. You just sneak up on them and attack them. We did get a surprise when we came through the door, but it's pretty rare. And then this one, you immediately restore your action and bonus action at the start of combat. I don't even know what that means. You get your action and bonus action no matter what. Maybe it's trying to say you get to go first, which then allows you to use this ability, so those two go together. I don't know. This is the one I always pick, because what this one does is it gives you an extra orange action, which is the ability to sneak, and you can also do a strike with your offhand, and then his vampire bite is going to be an orange action. So this is very helpful. And then you can fall from a very large distance, and you really don't take a lot of damage. And actually, that it does help. People have pushed me off cliffs, and I have survived because of it. I like taking the thief. I think the assassin definitely has merit. This one, you have to have a very solid plan of what your character is going to do. You basically want a rogue that casts spells. I'm not interested in that. I think this is too cute for my style. I think this one is good, but this is my preferred one. We're going to go ahead and do it. So, having that extra orange action, see, all three of these are orange, and then this right here is orange. These are green, and then eventually his vampire bite is going to show up. It's also going to be orange. These three are orange as well. So, just getting that extra orange is going to give him extra actions that will be very helpful. And here, I don't know how much experience he actually gained, but you can see he needs 1,794. I mean, let's assume he needed around 800, 1,800. So he had 6 extra. So we've got 20 experience, I think, for helping that girl.
Action, not reaction.
All right, so let's do level 3 fighter. Okay, we get to choose. So because she's a Githyanki, she gets the psionic jump spell. Triple a creature's jumping distance. Wow. What an interesting one that is. Okay. That's interesting. Then we get to pick a subclass here as well. This one's a tough one. Okay, so first of all, this is your fighter mage thing. Again, it requires a lot of. I think if you have somebody who's really good at the game and understands all the mechanics, this could be very powerful. I'm not one of those people. So the champion one it's attractive. So basically, it doubles your chance of critically hitting. Because right now you only critically hit if you roll 20. This makes it a 19 or 20. So again, it's still low odds, but that is double, technically speaking. And it's passive, meaning that's all that you get. I do think you get more stuff later as you level up further. This is again where the game doesn't give me information. So if you take out your D&D 5e book, I think the champion kit, you do get more stuff. Like the game's going to give you things as you get to level 7, level 8, or whatever. But right now you're getting the extra critical hit, and that's all I know. So this is annoying because I actually don't know. Just going to do a. Here, I can do this while you're watching. So let's just come over here. Type in BG3. Fighter subclasses. There we go. Sure. Let's try this one. So the Battlemaster we haven't talked about. What they do is you get superiority dice. So they're like these things that refresh every time you rest. So you can spend it to execute maneuvers that boost the damage of your attacks. You pick 3 different maneuvers, and you get superiority dice, a 1d8 for every short rest. So whenever a maneuver involves one of those 3 things I picked, I can deal additional damage equal to, I can choose to roll the die and do additional damage. And these are the things you can choose from. So if I push somebody, and they fail the strength, then I can roll a superiority die and, they take extra damage. I do push people quite a bit in the right situation. I don't know any target attacks to I don't know of any way to trip attack anybody yet. I can't figure out an attack to disarm people unless it's a spell. That for sure. This one is you're not doing extra damage. Instead, what you're doing is you're actually giving somebody health points. Or perform an attack that can frighten the target. And if they fail the wisdom, then you would get the extra damage. Or when an enemy misses you, they can spend a superiority die to retaliate with attack of their own. So it requires them to miss you first. Always deals piercing damage regardless of weapon used. So it's very interesting. You can aid your allies, control the battlefield, blah, blah, blah. And also gains 2 more maneuvers from the above list. At level 10, you get improved superiority, changing the dice from a D8 to a D10. Amount of bonus damage. Finally, at a level 11, you get 2 more. You get to pick 2 more from this list. Oh, reaching level 7, you get 1 more dice. And you collect 2 more from the list. So by the time all is said and done, you're basically going to have this whole list selected. By the time you get to level 11. That's pretty late in the game. Now the Eldritch Knight we were talking about, you get to learn the wizard spells. You get 1 new spell at level 4 and another one at level 7. And then 2 second levels at level 7. And You can cast a cantrip and make a melee attack as a bonus action. Level 10, you get one more second level. Then there's the champion one. So basically you get the improved critical hit at level 3. And that's all you get. But then you get at level 7, Remarkable Athlete. And Remarkable Athlete Jump. So the former allows them to add half your proficiency bonus to any skill check that uses strength, dexterity, or constitution. And then you can increase your jump by 3 meters. Oh, that's it. Well, that's not as attractive because we have... because the Githyanki has this jump spell. So you know what? We're going to go with Battle Master. Let's try it. We're going to pick 3 of these maneuvers. Actually, this is a much larger list than what was on the webpage. So I don't know how to do a trip attack. This one, if you have the right type of weapon, like a sword, you could do that. So a precision attack. I do get those. You can have an ally do an attack. Interesting. I'm going to do pushing. Oh, those give me. Very interesting. You actually get the attack when you select those. So I actually get the ability to trip people. Wow. This is definitely nice. Yeah, so this one is just for when it's a reaction. Got it? Wow. I see. So you could use your action and your bonus action and automatically get advantage with your attack. And you deal an additional 1d8. That can be powerful. This one disarms people. Doesn't really do a lot of damage. And if you miss, it does not spend the dice. And it works for both ranged and melee, which is pretty cool. Wow, okay, now I'm really torn. Which ones do I want? Well, one thing I can tell you, if you knock them prone, they're super easy to hit for everybody. And your thief gets, automatic, sneak attack or, whatever bonus. It's rather nice. This is an attack roll bonus, which means that's your ability to hit. So this increases my chance to hit somebody. So if I'm missing somebody all the time, I can do this it'll make it so I'm not doing extra damage, I'm rolling that extra die to increase my chance of hitting. Alright, I like that. I like the idea of a trip attack. And I really liked the disarm. I don't know how well it's going to work. But I actually like the one where we hit if they miss. I know that's it depends on a lot of stuff. but I'm going to do that one as well. That's a tough choice, but I like fighter. Actually a little fun to play. And so here you can see my precision attack and my two other ones are appearing. So actually you get some nice fighter skills. Alright, very, very cool. Alright.
Whatever comes, I'm
Let's
ready.
level up our cleric. Actually, I'm probably doing this a little out of order, because if we're going to change class, we're going to have to level them up again, because when you change class, they go back to level 1. Alright, so with the cleric, these are our prepared spells, but she knows now level 2 spells. One level 2 did show up. The one thing that's missing here is how many level 2s versus level 1s can she cast. I know we need this one. This one is nice, except it's a concentration, and she always loses concentration. Aid is really nice. And I think we're going to go with that. So this aid spell gives everybody 5 extra hit points until the next long rest. And it lasts the whole time. There's no concentration, nothing. So that's really nice, especially early on. And I'm going to hold on to this water spell for now. Her level 3 wasn't super exciting.
Never a dull moment.
And then our level 3. Alright, so we got another level 1 slot, a level 2, and a sorcery point. And we gained a spell, and we can replace a spell. So let's see. So now we can pick any level 1 or level 2 spell to add. Okay, so what I did with my wizard is I took this one, which is fantastic, except it misses sometimes, which drove me a little nuts. Sticking with our storm theme, just looking to see if there's any... This one actually works really well, but it doesn't move. It's a very small circle, and the enemy can move out of the circle, and it doesn't do damage anymore. This is a nice one for unlocking traps. If you have enough spells to cast, this helps your thief to do a lot of stealing. Mirror image, of course, improves our ability to stay alive. Might be nice to eventually have. This one, Phantasmal's Force, I found to be irritatingly frustrating to actually work. Yeah, so nothing really related to our storm except for maybe gust of wind, which isn't very exciting. So I guess I will go with the damage. Yeah, let's do it. We'll go with the big damage. We get another passive. So we want to make our spend this. This is what we're going to spend some sorcery points for. To make it last longer. We can target spells that require saving throws have disadvantage on their first saving throw. Which you know how I was talking about I'm getting annoyed that the spell doesn't hit them because they roll a save against it. That's one way you can make it so it's harder for them to save. It's actually pretty good. Spells that cost an action cost a bonus action instead. It does cost 3 sorcery points to do this, but basically it allows me to cast 2 spells in the same round. Because I can make this one, I can spend 3 sorcery points, cast a spell, and then I can cast another spell again because one's using the orange action, the other one's using the green. That's actually pretty interesting. And this one allows me to cast spells even if I'm silenced. That can also be pretty powerful. I was planning to take the extended because, like, if I have a spell that only lasts 2 turns, this would make it last 4. you know, if I start summoning creatures, see, and surfaces caused by spells, so the water, for example. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that. Then for replace spell, I'm pretty happy with those 3. So we're not gonna replace anything. Alright. So what am I? I'm an hour and 51 in. We're looking at this game rant, which actually is a pretty decent explanation of things, even if it was a little outdated. Let's do BG3, Sorcerer. Alright, they got their game rant version of this. So, Draconic Bloodline. At level 11, they gain Fly. That's it. Players who choose red will learn Burning Hands. Level 6, they gain fire resistance. So what do we choose? We're blue, right? We learn Witch Bolt as an additional first level spell, while Bronze Dragon will instead gain Fog Cloud. At level 6, they will gain resistance to lightning. At level 1, you get Tempestuous Magic, allowing them to fly as a bonus action after casting any level 1 or higher spell. For repositioning, level 6, we get Heart of the Storm, creating a localized storm whenever they cast a spell, level 1 or higher, that deals thunder or lightning damage. This storm deals damage to all creatures within 6, equal to half the sorcerer's level, rounded down. Same type as the spell that triggered Heart of the Storm. They also get Heart of the Storm resistance at level 6, which gives them resistance. Storm gain a ton of bonus spells known. These consist of Call Lightning, Sleet Storm, Gust of Wind, Create or Destroy Water, and Thunderweave. These provide multiple ways of manipulating the state of the battlefield. See, this is important, because what if I would have taken one of these spells, like Call Lightning or Sleet Storm, which, by the way, are both, I think, level 3. And I've already talked about how I really want this, although waiting until level 6 is a long time. But right there, even Thunderwave. Like, I was tempted to take that. And if you take the spell and then you get it from this, there's no bonus for you. It's not like they let you pick another spell. Now, one thing you can do is you can always respec your character. So I guess that's how you would deal with that. Level 11, you get Storm's Fury, which deals lightning damage equal to their level to a foe that strikes them with a melee. Ooh. I sort of like that. Alright. So, I know we did all this stuff to get experience points.
Have to keep going.
We did. We skipped a bunch of opportunities for experience quests. Like I said, we could spend a whole hour here, and I'm running around without really explaining much. But we're gonna come back here and get credit for.
You ever scare me like that again, and I'll feed you to a knoll.
Mom, I'm fine. Stop it.
Our little Hellion told us what happened. Thank you. Don't know what we'd do without her.
Yeah. I mean, thank you for helping me.
Alright, so we saved her, and we get this locket. That basically, it's a trinket that lets you cast dancing lights, which is not that exciting. It's one of those things you let Gale eat.
Stealing the idol. What were you thinking?
I was trying to help.
You nearly died. Did you hear me?
Okay, so the next thing to do is go to camp. And back here is Mr. Withers.
Seems like a good moment to talk.
We meet again. As predicted, I shall be here in thy camp for whenever thou hast need of my services. Be assured, it is not by choice.
She's helping me, but it's not by choice.
A mending of the threads between life and death. Should thou or any of thy compatriots perish, I will cleave soul to body once more. Indeed. Not this one, nor this one. And this I riddle thee not. I speak of... Beyond mortal realms, there doth exist an amalgamation of spirits akin to thine own, ensnared by the treacherous cult of the Absolute, felled in its name. They bear great discontentment with their destiny. For a mere pittance of coin, I might summon the worthiest among them to lend aid to thy undertaking.
So, he's basically explaining that this Absolute dude, which is our arch enemy in this game, you know, there's people in the death realm or the spirit realm or whatever that are willing to come back and help me fight them. This Absolutist, which of course is what my goal is. So I can change or reset my class, or I can...
Most willingly, forsooth. Their passions doth run deep for what hath been wrought upon them.
So if I hire a
Very
hireling,
well.
costs 100. I need room in my party, which right now I don't. I think if I try to do this...
Impossible.
Yeah, party's full.
Thy party is full.
So what happens is, well here, let's just sort of demonstrate it.
So, we're traveling with the famed Blade of Frontiers. Oh, darling, I'm hurt. I guess it sounds...
Okay, so now I have an extra spot, so I can come over here.
Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhaps, very well.
Let's say I want to choose a hireling. So what that does is that allows me to pick from all these different faces. So Sir Fuzzalump, for example, is a gnome wizard. So I don't get to change their race, but I will get to change the class. It says wizard, but I can turn him into whatever I want him to be. And so, you know, you pick one. And I think I made this guy because he was a sorcerer. Right? So I can say, okay, let's venture forth, Mr. Sorcerer. And you get to customize them or whatever. And what's funny is they will talk with the same voice that Withers has. But yeah, they follow you around, they do whatever. It's an alternative to using the NPCs in the game. And I think there's one for everything. Like here you got a bard. There's your druid. Cleric. There's your paladin. Ranger. They're even like in the same order as the when you're creating your first character. Yeah, barbarian and then bard. Yeah. So that's it. They're not bad at all. So if you're sick of the NPCs and you don't want to deal with them, you can have these guys, and basically they're just loyal. Period. So you don't have to interact with them. You don't have to deal with the romance. There's every one of the characters is basically bisexual, meaning you know, that vampire dude, if you want to flirt with him, he doesn't care that you're a dude too. And then same with Shadowheart. If you're man or woman, it doesn't matter. You can sway her. like I said, it can be annoying. Well, you can just skip all that by having a party of 4 of these. Now, this Withers guy was available the moment we finished the temple. So, however long we played it wasn't very long, and it wasn't that much that we did. So you finish the temple, you get Withers, you sell a few items like I did, and we have some gold in our pocket now. You come here, you spend 300 gold, which I have plenty, and you can have a party of 4 characters that I custom made. I never have to deal with the flirtatiousness or the bickering or any of that stuff. Like, if that doesn't appeal to you, it's all right here. And also the NPCs, aren't certain classes, etc. Like, if you're absolutely insistent you must have a high elf, well, here you go. You got a high elf. So if I hire let's at least hire somebody that we don't have, like a druid. So if I want a Mephistopheles tiefling. So I just spent 100 gold for him.
No time to rest.
So he's in my party, right?
Don't waste a step.
He's actually using my voice. So what I can do then is I can go to Withers.
Ah, I shall be here in thy camp for whenever thou hast need of my services.
I hired him as a druid, right? But I can come here and say change my class. And now I can make him whatever I want. The one thing I can't change is that he's a tiefling. Okay? So I probably wasted 200 gold here, but that's the thing. So just, even after you hire these guys, you can, it's a 2-step process, right? You hire them, you get a druid, and then I can go over here and change them to, I wanted a tiefling rogue, for example. Now I got one, right? So I'm going to go ahead and cancel this because I didn't want to do that. And so now with the druid, I get to level him up. So we actually get to see what it's like to be a druid. So there's a circle of the land. You gain a cantrip. As an action, you can assume the form of a beast. These are the beasts. You can't talk or cast spells. So I can be a badger, a spider, a wolf, or a cat. Replenish spell slots while out of combat. The moon. I can regain hit points if I spend spell slots, because you can't cast spells while you're in wild shape. That's interesting. And again, I would think I would need to, so you get the bear form with this one. I would probably need to go to that website to see all the stuff that happens at later levels, right? Because that's the information that's missing here. Then you got the spores one, so you got your basic ones, and then you have these spores that fly around you. If you go into wild shape, then it goes away. So this is one I think you would do if you're going to be a spellcaster. This is very, very interesting. You got necromancy, you got the whole 9 yards. Then you have all these spells. And one of them, of course, is the create or destroy water. You can become, right there, speak with animals is the one I was talking about. So yeah, you got this guy, and then some of these, of course, are druid-specific spells that clerics and whatnot wouldn't have in their spellbook. But right there, that speak with animals is the one. And I did not get to mess with their attribute points. That's the one thing it didn't let me do. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel, and then...
Have a lot on my mind.
This vessel is at thine disposal. Do what thou wilt. This soul remembers its invective, but remembers not its tongue.
Though spoken with a different voice, you recognize the eloquent drawl of Withers, the wraith that's...
They are but echoes. They recall not a manner of speech. Thus, I lent them my rhetoric.
So Withers is basically being them.
To speak thusly takes little of my effort. Besides, what better use is there of time than discourse? This soul...
Alright, so I do need him to...
This vessel is at thine disposal. Do
return him.
thou art the master.
Alright, so now he's out of my party.
Best be on my way.
And I spent, what, 200 gold or whatever.
I should
It's
speak
okay.
up.
I like it. Darling, lead on.
Okay, so now I got my party members back. And this is where, like I said, I can go over here, pay 100, and respec. I can even respec myself. So, for example, if I thought I took a spell that I am later going to already get anyways, I can respec, or however I want to do it. I mentioned I don't care for her being a trickster.
No time for Danny.
I can go and make her into a life priest, and it will give her some extra spells that do healing, which are fairly nice. There's one that will heal the entire party. None of these, well, this one does that. But yeah, there's another one that you get that's fairly nice. And also we got Lae'zel here, who yeah, I don't think I have an issue with her. And then of course,
Careful,
you know,
I bite.
do I want these guys to be anything other than what they are? Like, you know, do we really need a cleric? I mean, my answer, I think, is yes. But, like, I know, for example, that a paladin also heals. Not as well as a cleric, though. I also know that, like, we have that druid. So I can, you know, rather than using the druid I just hired, I could turn her into a druid, so we still have the interaction. Those are the options that we have at our disposal now. And so basically, you can plan what you think your party needs to be, and then just make everybody else, you know, fit to it. So like I said, I like having her be more of a...
Wits and blades, always sharp.
Not a trickster. So if I'm going to change her into...
Let's
like,
try
I
this
know
way.
it sounds crazy to respec her into a cleric again, but I just like the different subclass of cleric. As far as the rogue goes, he's, like I said, he's very good. And the problem with me is I don't think I can change my race if I respec.
Can't give up now. Need to find a way
You know
forward.
what, it's only 100 gold.
Fate, dost thou require a new ally? As thou did...
Yeah, see, I can only change my class. I can't change my race. So, can I cancel? Alright, I'm still level 3, so how much do I have? 800, so I'm good. Alright, well at this point I think I need to stop anyways. I'll think about it and figure out what I want to do with the characters, but let's go ahead and save the game here in camp. And then thanks for watching. As always, stay awesome.